Welcome back. We're trying episode 3 of Scarlet Hollow. So if you haven't seen the first 2 parts, you can find those in a playlist on my channel, and I'll also have a link in the description. But we left off where we just escaped the shutdown mines, and we were able to save Rosalina, but not her 2 other friends. So we had fallen asleep at the Scarlet estate. Tabitha seems to be warming up to us maybe a little bit. Not quite. But we'll see what happens in this episode. We still don't know what these creatures in the woods are. So we can either get a full recap or we can do a partial. I think I skipped the recap last time. So let's see what the recap is. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides, the countless late night stops, and seedy death spots that you would normally feel unsafe even in the middle of the day. You normally wouldn't find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets, the funeral of Pearl Ann, your cousin's mother, and your aunt seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms are available, will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering around if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. A single reindeer remains behind, staring down the beam of Stella's flashlight while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. That's the mystery we're trying to figure out, is what's happening or has happened to these animals. Come on, whatever your name is, grab the flashlight and help me line up a good shot. As the creature in the tree line grows louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. That's when we let Gretchen go to grab the flashlight, because that's how we saw whatever that is. So that's a mess. I wonder what would have happened if we didn't have the flashlight. You end up losing Gretchen. Of course, Stella is distraught about that. We talked to Sybil and her granddaughter and end up staying at Stella's. And I think that was the end of the first episode. And then episode 2, Tabitha's super grumpy, has to come save us, gives us some fake curfew to be back in the estate every night by bedtime. We didn't tell Avery the truth about what happened last night because we still don't really know Avery. We don't know who he is or what he's talking about, and Sybil respects that we're a private person. Because we really don't know anything in terms of the creatures and where they came from or how to defeat them. We went to the town hall, which also doubles as the town's library, where we meet Oscar, the only librarian, and he mentions his missing daughter, Rosalina, I'm sorry. And so we end up exploring the mines. Oh, I forgot all about this because we didn't even get to meet Reese. Still, because his mom is like really blocking that. She's also the town doctor. I think Wayne is dead. He's giving me ghost vibes for sure. And he's the only one whose speech is written in red. Everyone else talks in normal speech. We see Rosalina, and that's how we figured out she was running to the abandoned mine that had closed down, and we end up having to go rescue her because, of course, that's just what we do. Even though originally Kaneeka said she didn't want to go into the mines for any reason, I made the executive decision to call the cousin because, somebody needs to know what's going on in the mine in case we didn't come back out. And it is a safety issue. We didn't know what we were going to face. But we didn't wait for her to come to the mine. We went in anyways. We find out that 5 teens are just randomly hanging out here. And that's when Tabitha finally catches up with us and kind of helps us escape-ish. But unfortunately, there's an issue in the mine. It gets kind of creepy and it sounds like maybe it's going to collapse or something. We're not 100% sure. So the mines got kind of wild and out of control, and it's kind of split into 2 groups. So Kaneeka takes her brother and one guy out of the mines. And then we have to go find the 3 missing girls who ran off into a small tunnel that was too small for the adults to fit in, but small enough for the kids. So it seems like a big catastrophe. And then we stumble upon some sort of a chamber that causes a seizure or some sort of blacking out and a memory or a flashback of something that happened decades before, which is how the mind ended up, falling apart in the first place. We find Rosalina and we're able to get her out, but we couldn't get the other 2 girls. And so it was, of course, a very, very bad tragedy. Tabitha's crusty as ever and very upset about the whole situation. And then we finally get some sleep. So an exciting 2 days. Mind you, we're only in Tuesday. So my character, which I named Bree, came into town on a Monday, and the bus only runs one day a week on Mondays. So we're waking up, and this should be Wednesday morning as the start of this episode. Sunlight filters in through a dusky window of the estate as the dull aches of last night's activities throb in and out of focus. You manage to survive a second night in the town of Scarlet Hollow. As you pull yourself out of bed, you can feel the soot and grime of the Shaw mines still stuck to your skin. Oh yeah, that's right, we didn't shower. Gross. I think we should take a shower, because that's absolutely disgusting. We should have showered last night. Ugh, I forgot how terrible this bathroom is. What type of shower is this? You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. The water is hot and, surprisingly enough, clean. As the steam fills your lungs and soot washes down the drain, oh wow, we have to get our shower thoughts going. We have a ton of options. Every minute feels like another thread holding this town together starts to unravel. Thoughts of doom consume me. Thinking about the 2 girls, thinking about Gretchen and Stella's face when Duke pulled the trigger. We're just scrubbing, trying to scrape the memories from my skin. Think about Sybil's warning that the worst is yet to come. Think about Wayne and how many times he's watched you unseen. Think about someone special. Think about finally being out of this hellhole and safe in your own bed. I'm still worried about the 2 girls. It is very terrifying that they may or may not survive. You think about the 2 girls still buried in that horrible mine. And that's it. You're done here. You turn off the faucet and dry yourself off. Yeah, we definitely had to start the day with the shower. I'm not even checking on the possum at this point. We're going to look out the window. You walk over to the window, fondly thinking about the pleasant view it provided you on Monday. It's the same view. Oh, well. Let's check the group chat. So you pull out your phone and open up your group chat with Stella and Kaneeka. Morning, how you guys holding up? It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. Let's check the closet again. Every time you see that doll, your heart skips a beat. It hasn't moved, right? We'll check on this. Enough of this closet. You turn back to the guest room. Now there's 2? How? Why we haven't opened it? We're just closing it. Yep. Never mind. I've had enough of the growing family of possums that live in the dresser, at least for the time being. I want to text Stella because we need to talk individually. I miss your guest bed, because, bro, this ain't it. I got 2 possums now. It'll probably be a bit before you get a response. I'm not texting Kaneeka. I don't think we're that close. Let's go on and head downstairs. It's time to start the day. I'm not sure who this is. You enter the kitchen to find your cousin in the midst of devouring a pint of banana chocolate chunk. She's not alone. Frou-Frou glares at you from her usual spot on the counter as a red-headed woman busies herself trying to tidy as best she can. You have to imagine the fresh face in the kitchen is Janey. Tabitha did mention that she comes in on Wednesdays to clean. Tabitha's gaze swivels from the woman to you, her glare intensifying. So I can either say, oh, you must be Janey. We're having ice cream for breakfast. Any update on the 2 girls? Definitely not saying hi, because she's so grumpy. Hi, you must be Janey. Tabitha mentioned you'd be coming in today. That's right. I'm just here to do a bit of cleaning. What cleaning Miss Tabitha will let me do, at least. I could have this place looking brand new, you know. Don't go making any big renovations or moving anything around. I like knowing where my stuff is. Okie dokie. It's so nice to finally meet you, Bree. I mean, I guess I did meet you on Monday when you popped into the diner. Janey. But seeing someone somewhere and meeting them face to face are two completely different things, I suppose. Thanks. All I'm trying to say is it's wonderful to finally actually meet you, and I'm so happy part of the family is here to keep Miss Tabitha company. What with everything that's Janey. Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Tabitha. Am I being too much again? Tabitha grumbles in acknowledgement. Any update on those two girls? No. Look, you did the right thing last night. Did I? Tabitha takes one last spoonful of ice cream that disregards an empty container, returning to her usual trademark scowl. Let's get going. I've got an errand to run in town, and every time I've left you here alone, something terrible's wound up happening. So you're coming with me. But I haven't had breakfast? Should have thought about that before sleeping in so late. Janey, lock up when you leave, please, and don't go rearranging anything. I'll know. As you're getting ready to leave, Janey approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the two of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Okay, Bree, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry you got cut up and all that. I'll be praying for those poor kids. I can't imagine how scared they must be. Thanks. Last night was a lot. If you ever need to talk to anyone, my husband is the local pastor. He's a gentle man and always willing to lend an ear. He's actually been going a little stir-crazy ever since we moved here. What, with nobody actually attending sermons? It'd probably do him good, a lot of good, to talk you through your worries. Sounds wonderful. Thanks for the offer. Of course, he's always ready and willing to talk with people, so feel free to stop by the church anytime. The door is always open. It's been nice meeting you, but I've got to bounce. Bye, Janey. Alrighty then, be safe out there, you two. Janey seemed nice enough. You and Tabitha walk through the doors of the estate and enter her car. The ride to town is uneventful. Your cousin, unsurprisingly, more focused on the road than making conversation. Alright, we're just going to pop into the general store for a few minutes. What are we doing at the general store? Picking up tea from Sybil. Oh, neat. What kind of tea? I don't know. The kind Sybil makes. She makes a bunch of weird stuff. I don't know what all of it is called. Quit interrogating me about the tea blends. Jeez. Shouldn't we be solving a mystery right now? A mystery? What mystery? The events of last night are pretty cut and dried. Like, come on. Is it more believable that the Shaw mine collapsed because of mysterious, unseen forces? Or is it more believable that it collapsed because it was a condemned mine that was unsuitable for human beings? People like Stella turn to conspiracy theories and the supernatural because they can't handle the truth. That our world is ruled by chaotic forces that don't follow any kind of logical pattern. Bad things can happen to good people suddenly and for no reason. You can choose to accept that, or you can live in denial. You and Tabitha turn as the door to the general store bursts open. A flustered Kaneeka exits, shouting behind her. Fine, okay, keep coddling him. Keep letting him get away with stuff you would have never let me so much as think about. I'm sick of carrying this family. Kaneeka storms off, the door slowly drifting shut behind her. Ugh, other people and their drama. If more people kept things to themselves, they'd be a lot happier. That's very Hemingway of you. It worked out great for all his characters, too. And for him. Poor Kaneeka's really going through it. Yeah, I've never been one for public displays like that. It's healthy to express yourself. Good for her. I'd be losing it if Miles was my brother. Have I ever told you you scare me? I hope there weren't any customers or say nothing. That's very Hemingway of you. I like that reference. She does kind of give that vibe. Books are for children. I read expense reports now. We're burning daylight. Come on already. The bells of the general store chime as you cross the threshold. The smell of old wood and steamy herbal tea flood your senses, making you feel instantly at home. Good morning, you two. I hope you're doing well after last night's activities. Morning. Is the new brew ready? Of course. Bree, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. Can't I go with you? I like the tea room. I always like visitors in the tea room, but I'm afraid I'm too busy to entertain for long, so we won't be lingering. Might as well just wait out here. No need to cram in there like sardines. Sybil motions for Tabitha to follow, and they both disappear into the tea room, closing the door behind them with the tinkling of bells. We're going to try to talk to him. God forbid. So, Miles, before you can finish your thought, you're halted by the tinkling of bells announcing another patron. Or in this case, another two. Well, if it ain't Bree. Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin, and she was there with Stella that night in the woods. It's a pleasure to meet you, miss. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Hope you've been faring better since all the unpleasantness. How have you been? Are you hanging in there? Ugh, I can't complain. I miss old Birdie, but there's nothing I can do for her now except protect the rest of my brood. Them things won't so much as step foot on my property. Not with Bo and me watching the perimeter with our shotguns at the ready. We even set up the missus with her pistol. Good thing we was watching. Nearly caught Julius trying to make off with Big Betty. As if he could have carried off a nearly 2,000-pound pumpkin on his own. I'd almost love to see him try. It's not like we'll be taking her to the state fair anyway. Now all she's good for is making the world's largest pumpkin pie. I don't think Mama has a tin big enough for a Big Betty-sized pie, Daddy. Who's Julius? Julius Tremaine. He practically spits the name. Some cousin, however many times removed, though I don't claim him as kin. He owns the farm next to ours, except he doesn't seem to have a good grasp on whose property is whose. Thinks he owns half our land, always sneaking around and taking vegetables we planted. Of course, the way he tells it, we're the ones stealing from him, saying he's the one putting them seeds in the ground. He's a miserable old cuss, and he knows it too. Stealing vegetables born of other folks' hard labor is probably the only joy he has in life. Damn. I'm not telling him I read about the feud. Have you seen any of those creatures around your farm? Yeah, we saw a few of those things. They got scared off before I could start shooting. Nasty little buggers. We've all been losing sleep, making sure we can keep an eye on them, on things. It's even rubbing off on the hens. None of the little ladies have been laying this week. You know, Daddy, I bet some big mastiff could keep them things away. This seems like just the kind of job for a guard dog. Now don't you start again. We ain't getting a dog. I got enough mouths to feed, and as much as you say you'll take the responsibility, I know it'd be me cleaning up after it. Besides, I don't have much faith in those things would be stopped by a dog. I saw more than a few in that nest. Big Betty is a pumpkin? Sure is. Probably would have taken home at least a few ribbons at the state fair this year. Maybe even a world record if we were lucky. Ah well, my hens are more important. We'll just have to grow an even bigger one next year, Daddy. The land's been good to us. We sure grown big out on the Callaway farm. Things have gotten worse. I did hear whispers about what happened up at the mines last night. So sorry to hear about those young ladies. Scarlet Hollow ain't so safe this week, it would seem. Those things we saw on Monday are apparently called ditchlings. They're supposed to be a bad omen. Ditchlings? Sounds like some old folk tale. Suppose that suits them. As for being an omen, I believe that too. But I suppose there's not much to be done if they're forewarning some kind of disaster, besides looking out for me and mine. Still, I appreciate you telling me, Bree. Well, gives us brownie points with Duke. I read about your family's feud in the library. Did you now? Weird bit of local history for someone to decide to write down. It ain't even interesting. I'll leave you to it. It was a pleasure running into you, Bree, but we best get on with our shopping. Can't spend too long away from the farm, what with those little devils running around. Can't leave Mama all by herself up there for very long. You have a good one. Hope Scarlet Hollow treats you better from now on. It was nice meeting you, Bree, and please tell Miss Scarlet I'm sorry about her mama. They shuffle off into the aisles. Tabitha and Sybil are still in the tea room. Your phone buzzes. Oh my god, hey, I overslept. Still gotta make myself breakfast. Meet me at the library after and figure out plan? And then it buzzes again. Hey again, LOL. If you want to come over for breakfast, would not hate it. You have plenty of time before dinner at Reese's house. Oh, there's so much to choose. I can go to see Kaneeka. I can swing by Stella's. I can check in with Oscar. I can go to the diner, or I can wait for Tabitha. I'm definitely not waiting for Tabitha because absolutely not. She's taking forever. I didn't want to come in the first place. Avery, I'm not telling them anything. So, kind of pointless to see him. Oscar, the librarian, I mean, could tell me what happened with Rosalina. Stella's, I mean, I'm liking Stella. Or going after Kaneeka. Let's see how Oscar's doing. You enter the library bright with morning light. Oscar stands at the desk. He looks exhausted, but perks up when he sees you enter. Oh, I wasn't expecting one to come in so early. It's good to see you, Bree. How can I help you? I wanted to check in on you. That's very thoughtful of you, Bree. I'm keeping it together, just trying to stay busy until tonight. I'm in a bit of an anxious waiting mode. I was going to do some shelving in back if you'd like to stay for a chat. You follow Oscar deeper into the library. I'm glad Stella offered to help investigate the annex tonight. Rose is taking things pretty badly. I wish there was more I could do, but at the very least I can get her out of that cramped storage room and back into our house. Oh, there's so many questions. What does Rosalina's mom think of all this? Oh, her mom isn't exactly in the picture. Oscar takes a moment before responding, carefully thinking over his words. She wasn't ready for a kid. She thought she was, but that didn't last. I can't really blame her. We were both too young. Neither one of us was really ready for that kind of responsibility, but that's all ancient history now. We haven't spoken in years. Last I heard, she married a lawyer and moved into a big house up in Ohio somewhere. I guess I should tell her what happened. Though I don't know. I never know how to navigate this whole situation other than doing what I can to be two parents for my daughter. Does anyone in this town have two parents? Does no one in this town have two parents? Most people have two parents, Bree. But now that you mention it, I haven't actually given that much thought. They must, though, right? Let me think for a moment. There's little Tulip. She's got Janey and the pastor. Alexis and Becca both have married parents. And Zane probably has parents, but I've never met them. Oh, and I grew up here to two loving parents. May they rest in peace. You're right, though. There seems to be a trend. I guess that's just what happens in a place like Scarlet Hollow. Not many people get their happy endings. I'm going to stay silent on that one. I don't think he should reach out to her mom. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't make you feel uncomfortable with all that. I can't say I've talked to too many people about Rose's mother. Tell me about your hauntings. Oscar gets a distant look in his eye. Ah, yes, the haunting. It started with the floor bleeding in Rosalina's room, and before you say anything, it wasn't rusty water and it wasn't wine. It was blood. AB negative, actually. I couldn't believe it was happening, so I ordered a kit online to test the stuff. And then I started seeing the figure. I could never get a good look at it, but I knew when it was there. There was just a feeling I get, like someone was about to stab me in the back, and I'd turn around and see a flash of someone leaving the room, just enough that I knew there had been someone there. Just thinking about it makes me want to hide under the covers. Oscar pauses, lost in dark recollections. The clearest look I ever got was one night when I was coming back to the house after doing some reshelving. I saw it, plain as day, standing in her doorway, silhouetted there like there was a light shining behind it. I couldn't make out the face, obscured in shadow as it was. I thought I heard it say something, a name I couldn't quite make out. It sounded like a question, like it was asking if I was that person. Then its head caved in. He paused again before coming back to himself, pushing the memory away. That was the last night we stayed in that house. As soon as that thing disappeared, I got Rosalina out of there, and we've been in the library ever since. As Oscar finishes the tale, you feel a shiver climb up your spine. You can sense that whatever entity he encountered is nearby, as if summoned by the description, its hateful energy reaching out and butting into your conversation. Your ears perk up, as if listening for that questioning name, your other senses following suit. Have you considered moving, like out of the house, out of town, maybe out of the state? There's just not enough money to move anywhere. I have student loans to pay off and a kid to raise. It's not like we have a lot of disposable income. We got a good deal on this place, much better than the markup the Scarlets charge non-minors for their housing. No offense to your family, but your cousin owns most of the houses in Scarlet Hollow, so our options are pretty limited. It's either buy a dilapidated homestead out in the farms, get fleeced by your cousin, or spend money we don't have to move someplace new, which also comes with the bonus of separating Rosalina from all her friends, all over a ghost we aren't even sure is real. So we come to the fourth option, getting rid of whatever is haunting the annex and keep saving for Rosalina's college fund until she's able to leave this place for good. If you managed to leave for college, how did you end up coming back? You should have stayed gone. That was the plan, but this county did a big education pushback when I was still getting my master's. Library jobs are more difficult to find than you think, and this one basically fell into my lap. The county subsidizes rent, we get a whole house to ourselves, and until a few years ago, Rosalina's parents were here to help take care of her. It seemed perfect, and for a while it was, but I suppose nothing lasts forever. How do you know it's a ghost? I suppose I don't. But I'm an educated man. I'd like to consider myself rational. And the normal, rational explanations for what's going on in the annex, there aren't any. I thought I might be hallucinating, and that maybe there's a gas leak. So I hired someone to come in and check out our pipes. Nothing. Clean as a whistle. I tested the blood seeping out of Rosalina's floor. It's blood. No two ways about it. And it's not a one-time spill either. I'd scrub it clean every day just for there to be a fresh stain the following night. So is it a ghost? Who knows? But whatever it is, it's defied my every attempt to identify it. So that if that's not a ghost, then what is it? So we're dealing with a full body apparition. Got it. Oh, good. It sounds like you know what you're doing. Your phone buzzes in your pocket. Almost forgot it's Mayor Jimmy Day. Good excuse to head over to the library. We should check in with Oscar and Rosalina. Meet y'all there. I totally blanked on that. Been having a weird foggy morning. Wow, that they're still doing the Major Jimmy thing even after last night. Do you think news has spread yet? But yeah, we should go see Oscar. See y'all soon. As if on cue, you can hear the faint sound of other people in the library, somewhere back towards the entrance. Oh, I knew I was forgetting something. It's Mayor Jimmy Day. With everything that happened last night, it just slipped my mind. They're probably going to start setting up soon, and I'm barely decent. After what you went through last night, I don't think you should worry. People will forgive you wearing the tank top today of all days. You're right, but I do like to maintain an air of professionalism when I can. I'll just make myself scarce. It's not like I have much interest in seeing the mayor today. Maybe this would help cheer up Rosalina, though. She loves the mayor. Guess it's time to see the mayor, dog. Because that is really weird that they don't have a real mayor. Oscar chuckles. People think he's cute, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't agree. But if you want to know my opinion, these little meet and greets are all about publicity, not meeting the public. It improves the image of the town in social media posts, that sort of thing. Every now and then it'll blow up online, and folks will come visit Scarlet Hollow to catch a glimpse of the mayor. I suppose it doesn't hurt to have through traffic. I don't want to seem cynical or anything, but it does feel rather calculated. You go on ahead. I'll see if Rosalina's up for all the commotion of the meet and greet. It's time to meet the mayor. You leave Oscar to his work and make your way back to the lobby. It's busier than you've seen it. A small crowd has formed in the corner of the main foyer. Hey, Bree. Thank God we have something to do this morning. My family's been driving me nuts. Yes, the whole gang's here. I've been waiting to introduce Bree to the mayor for like the entire time I've known her. It'll be worth it. Trust us. All right, shall we? I don't know why they're so excited about this. Yep, he's a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. You haven't met the serious man by his side, but you have to assume that's the mayor's handler. He holds out his paw as if to shake your hand. It's lovely to meet you, Mr. Mayor. You reach forward to take the mayor's little paw in your hand, but his burly security detail stops you. No paw shaking, only head pats and ear scratches allowed. Isn't he just the cutest? It's the best part of living in Scarlet Hollow, besides the nature. And all my friends, and Winnie's Biscuits, and this close-knit small-town community, of course. But having a dog mayor is a close fifth, no contest. All right, you've had your turn with the mayor, now move along and keep the line going. And by the way, I know you were up at the mine collapse last night. I may be off duty, but I'd be remiss if I didn't let you know I've got my eyes on you. All of you. Let's hope the rest of your stay in town is a little less conspicuous. What are you, a cop? As a matter of fact, I am. Stella and Kaneeka quickly shuffle out of the room ahead of you, leaving you to follow. Well, he didn't have to be so aggressive about it. Looks like everyone else is already talking to Oscar in the next room. Before you can catch up with your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike him. I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Bree? Everyone's been talking about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. This must be Janey's husband. Janey mentioned you this morning. That woman is the light of my life. I'm so glad she's there to help your cousin through this rough patch. Do you know anything about ghosts? Ghosts? I've never encountered one myself, but I've heard stories of folks who have been visited by their loved ones from beyond the grave, and it seems like it provides them with a sort of spiritual healing. Like their beloved relatives are watching over them, even in death. Is this about Pearl Ann? Or perhaps your mother? Have you been visited by her? Ew, no. I mean real ghost stuff. Scary stuff. I prefer to think that ghosts are our loved ones reaching out to us from heaven to let us know we don't need to worry about them and that we'll be reunited one day. Sure, that can sometimes frighten people, but holy visitations often do. We must remember to be not afraid of that we don't understand. You mentioned Pearl Ann being in a better place earlier. I doubt it's a better place. She sounds like she was awful. I'm sure she wasn't that bad. Most people are good deep down inside. It's best not to speak ill of the dead. I should go. It was nice meeting you, though. Of course, and if you find yourself in need of counseling or spiritual guidance, you know where to find me. I'm not really religious. There's no need to have a religious background. Counseling is more about giving people an opportunity to be heard. I'm not going to try to convert you or anything. I just want to help support the fine folks of this community and their families in any way I can. And that includes you. No pressure, of course. But if you ever feel like you're struggling and could use a good listener, you know where to find me. It was lovely to meet you, and you have a blessed day, Bree. He's creepy. The pastor leaves you be and joins the line to see the mayor. Nothing to do now but catch up with your companions. You find them already talking to Oscar deeper in the library. Are you sure we can't just get it over with while the sun is up? I don't know if I can handle getting scared shitless in the dark 2 nights in a row. I wish we could, especially since I'm not particularly excited about going back in there after dark either. But I'm pretty sure it only comes out when the sun goes down. Yeah, there's no way I'm going in until that spirit is at its full power. I want to be sure we get the best evidence possible. This could be my one shot to get real proof of ghosts. I'm not going to waste it just because I'm impatient. Y'all are going to be the death of me. And you're sure there's nothing we can do for Rosalina right now? I don't think so. She's been locked up in the back room all day. Hasn't been very interested in talking to anyone. I think the best we can do is stick to the plan. Ghost bust the house clean and give her a real bed to sleep in tonight. I just hope it's possible to get rid of this thing. This is a pretty serious ghost infestation. Is that what you'd call something like this? I believe it's called a haunting, but ghost infestation also sounds good. I suppose we're the ghost hunters, so we can call it whatever we want. Anyways, I'll be bringing all the ghost hunting supplies anyone could ever need, so we should be set on preparations. The only thing y'all need to bring is an open mind. We have the power of friendship on our side. That's so corny. Heck yeah, we do. If anime has taught me anything, it's that the power of friendship is unstoppable. That's a lovely sentiment. I'm sure Rosalina will at least be glad to know you did all your best to help her. Well, if we're not doing the hunt now, I guess we should head over to Reese's. Absolutely. Come on, Bree. Time to go bother our friend. I'm going to get back at it. See y'all tonight. So I met Pastor Daniel. It was only a matter of time until he tried to pull you aside about grief counseling. When my dad died, I had to ban him from the general store for a week. He wouldn't stop leaving those little pamphlets at the checkout. I don't know where he finds so many. He and Janey keep trying to make me go to church. Yeah, not a lot of people go to the church around here. It's not like folks in the town aren't Christians, but he's so creepy. No one wants to sit in the pews in that rundown old church and listen to that guy. Plus, the guy was grinning through the entirety of my dad's funeral. What a ghoul. And I don't mean that in a stigmatizing mental health kind of way. There's just a little siren that goes off every time I see him that tells me to get away from him. That's exactly how I would describe it too. The whole town feels the same way. Now that I think about it, he must be pretty lonely. He can look for friends somewhere else. I wonder if the pastor's cursed. I felt something odd when he came up to me, and the way everyone dislikes him seems excessive. Unnaturally excessive. I know this is weird coming from me, but not everything in town has to be spooky for supernatural reasons. Sometimes people just give off bad vibes. Agreed. We're allowed to dislike him even though he hasn't done anything wrong that we know of. I'm not inviting Tabitha. Tabitha is not fun. She's not fun to be around. All right, should we head out? The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. You once again find yourself in front of the Kelly residence. A cold hesitation grips you as the building's history looms over you from the hilltop. A refurbished Civil War hospital and tuberculosis clinic would be a strange and difficult place to live in during the best of times. You can only imagine the challenges of living there with a severe chronic illness. Although it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? It's too late. The door swings open. Hey! Reese! Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be Bree, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I get all the Bree updates. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella. And I knew you'd probably want to help me cook, too. What can I say? I make an excellent sous chef. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you wandered into a real estate showing. So how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not puttering around my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner and you can leave my house and go on about your business. But I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time now, right? You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. Yes, okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool, we'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. You make your way down the basement stairs. The basement is what you'd expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line the edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the rooms, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little bit intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. So, has Stella told you about everything that's happened the last couple of days? Oh, she's told me all about what you guys have found out there. I wish I could see some of it myself, but, you know. He gestures in futility about the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to. It's like there's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort. I really do. There's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die has already been cast. But we're talking about the past couple of days, weren't we? What do you think about what's going on with Wayne? Who? You know, that guy who's been following Bree around being all ominous? Oh yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he's got going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look, for all our sakes. What do you think of my cousin? She's always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she had it out for me, personally, if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. But people change. Maybe she's nicer now. She's still terrible. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. I'll pass things. Do you think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. I could totally tell you if there was a riot. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? I mean, yeah, I'd hope so, but the point I'm trying to make is other people are my eyes out there. Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they look like something out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. It actually looks pretty spot on. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does it mean that they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know, but I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are going to be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. Your whole situation's got to be rough. Sorry. Thanks, but I've been dealing with this thing for a while, so you don't have to feel sorry for me. I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. You're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. You haven't, right? Not exactly. Nobody really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches like there's worms crawling underneath it. I could live for a long time or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. So I've done my mourning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable. But one day I'll wind up in the pine box just like everyone else, and I'm okay with that. Dang, Reese. I may be a goth, but that's some nihilistic shit. We'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Thanks, guys, but you really shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine. Really. I'm not going to ask his diagnosis. Surely there must be something the doctors can do for you, even if it's just helping you deal with the symptoms. The doc upstairs has consulted with a lot of specialists. I've tried a lot of medications. Sure, some have been able to alleviate symptoms, but they always come with their own fun side effects. It wound up being a question of picking which set of discomforts I wanted to deal with. I settled on constant nausea and vomiting and a persistent itch I can't stretch. It's manageable. As long as I can still paint, I don't care. And hey, it's not all bad. Some of it's just weird. Like this. Reese pulls on the skin of his arm. It stretches unnaturally. Hyperelasticity. Kind of cool, right? Whoa. Does that not hurt? No, feels fine. Like I said, it gets itchy under the skin sometimes, but I don't know if that's the elasticity, the medication, or some other part of my condition. Your mom is scary. I feel like she used to be less scary, but maybe I was just oblivious as a teen. Speak for yourself. It's possible she's got a bit of edge lately. I think my condition's been stressing her out a lot. It used to be something she thought she could fix, but I think she's kind of accepted that it's just something we have to manage. But even if she's a little harsh, she means well. She's just looking out for me. Are we flirting? I know we're not trying to flirt with this guy who's like stuck in the house. Let's just for shits and giggles. It's not like he can go anywhere. I know you think you need her to take care of you, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who would love to dote on you. I like how both of them are looking like, huh? I wouldn't want to be a burden on anyone else. He looks shook. Wow, you don't waste any time, do you, Bree? I thought it was sweet. I thought it was kind of sweet, too. Anyways, do you know she turned us away yesterday? We couldn't even talk to you. You came by yesterday? She didn't tell me, but I was probably asleep, that's all. Are you sure it's not just that I did something wrong and she's never forgotten it and will hold it against me until the day I die? Actually, Kaneeka, I think she admires you. She says you have a good work ethic, and she has a lot of respect for people like that. Really? She really said that? Whoa, then I can't imagine how mean she must be to the people she doesn't like. I think she's usually nicer to them. That's how you know you've really messed up. What about me? Does she say anything about me? Do you want to know? Well, when you say it like that, no. I'll just keep imagining us as very good friends. That's quite the movie collection you've got there. Got any good recs? Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shai no Chi, Death Blood? I saw that for the first time recently, and it blew me away. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. We can even put it on after dinner if you guys are interested. Dang, I used to be down for that, but we've got to head to Oscars after this. We promised we'd ghost bust his place. He's apparently been dealing with a bad haunting. And I feel like we really should be there for him tonight, considering everything that's happened. He and Rosalina both need our support right now. I'll take a rain check on that movie, though. Yeah, we'll definitely come by for a movie night this week. I'm free tomorrow night. Same goes for Bree. I should probably work tomorrow, but I can close up early. Your art, each piece eludes a sickening miasma. It's like you can feel something squirming behind the paint. The brushstrokes acting as steel bars, trapping some anguished being within. I don't know. Real Goya Black period vibes with a healthy dose of Baginski. Thank you, I think. Yeah, that's a good thing. Then thank you. I really appreciate it. To be honest, I don't know much about art history. It's not exactly a popular subject in tiny K through 12 rural schools, so my art education was lacking. I'm working in the dark as far as influence. And you're doing great, man. You know, you could gain a real following if you ever posted these online. Just saying. Nah, I think I'm okay sticking to sparsely populated late night live streams. That's all the social media I can handle. I don't know about how you do it, Stella. Having to exist in front of all those people all the time. Knowing some version of you lives in their head. Knowing they expect something out of you that you might not be able to give them. Okay, but if the only time you ever put your art on display is a live stream during ghoul hours, when am I going to be able to see what you've been working on? Tell you what, when I die, I'll leave you my paintings. Then you can see them all. And maybe they'll be worth millions since I'll be dead. I'd be able to rest easy knowing someone had retroactively given my life value. Do we want him to go ghost hunting? I mean, he's so sickly. Want to go ghost hunting with us tonight? Oh, wow. Do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. That would be so amazing. But I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. Even just walking to town has put me in bed for a week. It sucks. But sure, make sure you bring your camera along, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. If you ever need someone to pose for your paintings this week, damn, trying to be thirsty. Damn, she's doing the most. That's so kind of you to offer. If you're okay hanging out at weird hours, I would love for you to come by and sit for me. It's been a long time since I've been able to draw anyone but myself, and I'd really appreciate the company. So the three of you go way back, huh? Almost to the womb. The school here is a tiny K through 12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. Just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks and were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks, like a certain Scarlet I could name. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she's pretty friendly when you got past that. Maybe to you, the way she looked at me, you'd think I'd rolled in something foul every morning before school. Same here, though to be fair, the feeling was mutual between us. She deserved it, though. Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen, "Dinner's on the table!" Guess that's it for catching up. Ugh, I don't like Dr. Kelly. Be sure you all wash your hands with soap. I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Sure thing, Doc. Yes, ma'am. You make your way towards the sink, but you're stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you accidentally wandered into an older, different house. But more than that, it feels like something radiating out from behind it. Something dark and cold. You felt this before, in the dusky tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream, heard through layers of rock, trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. You are compelled to approach this door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Something wants you to find it. All the options say open the door. This is crazy. Snap yourself out of it. We're going to open it. Why not? Before you know it, the doorknob is turning in your hands, your heart full of both deep dread and a compulsive need to know what might be on the other side. What do you think you're doing? Well, yeah, good luck explaining that. I was looking for the bathroom. Yeah, so you passed by the open door that was clearly a bathroom and went snooping around. Come on, get washed up. Everyone's waiting on you. You won't let her interrupt you. You need to know what's behind that door. Oh, no, you don't. Come on, wash your hands and sit down. She grabs you by the shoulders, yanking you away. You do as she says, cleaning up under her watchful eyes and allowing yourself to be ushered back to the table and away from the door. I wonder why she's so insistent. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kaneeka anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talking, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chairs next to him. Dr. Kelly's eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite of you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. She's the town doctor. This dinner might be a good opportunity to question her about recent events. Pills. She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows them. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is this pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. Well, you have excellent taste in brands. If you ever want any tips on easy home-cooked pasta sauces, you know No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. Let's just make small talk, because my God, she's not going to be any help, I feel like. The food's really good. Then please, send a letter thanking the mass manufacturer of the spaghetti sauce and pasta. I just heated them up. And I don't like wasted air at the dinner table, so keep your vaguely polite niceties to yourself while the rest of us finish our plates. Damn. She's even worse than Tabitha. We should have Tabitha come if we were going to be verbally abused like this. You can feel the tension at the table start to rise. Well, how well do you know Tabitha? Not very. I know her a lot better if your family didn't seem to be so afraid of doctors. I can count on one hand the number of times she's come into my office. No wonder everyone but that old Edwardine died so young. Hopefully your mother was better about taking you to doctor's visits. I wouldn't be surprised if there was something genetic at play, and it's much better to catch those things early. What were Stella and Kaneeka like as kids? Noisy and messy, like all kids. And they always had those little projects, videos or crafts or animal rescues, whatever it was that they had captured their imaginations that week. So like I said, noisy and messy. Didn't we bring a dead squirrel into your house once? Oh God, not the squirrel. I remember that squirrel. Didn't you think Doc could Frankenstein it back to life or something? I was like 12. I was very susceptible to what I saw in media and very sad about that squirrel. That was one of those things that keeps me up at night. I still feel guilty. about bringing that thing into your house, Dr. Kelly. I'm just glad you didn't make it a habit. I don't know if I want to ask her either one, but I'm going to ask it. Let's be messy. Why didn't you want me poking around the clinic? You seem awfully guarded about me checking out that door. Because it's closed. Doctors don't just let people wander around their clinics. Of course, Dr. Kelly, we would never. I'm sure Bree is just joking. Right, Bree? You know, I can't say I've ever felt drawn to the place before, but the secrecy is starting to make it feel awfully compelling. Stella, don't you think of getting any ideas from Bree. No one is playing hide and seek in my private offices. Not today, not ever. Bree, she doesn't need any more bad influences. Yeah, but what if it's haunted? This place was built out of an old Civil War hospital, right? It was a TB clinic, too. Double haunted. I can't believe I never went ghost hunting here. Are you sure you don't want us to check it out? We'll have a whole bunch of extra experience after tonight. It's not haunted. Now drop it. You can feel the tension at the table start to rise. We're gonna get off of this. Silence, because she's like Tabitha. Talking to her is just pointless. You remain silent, quietly picking out store-bought spaghetti and dinner rolls. So we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Bree's still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be fine. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone, just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Damn it. I knew it. I knew this would be too much. Everyone get out of my house, please. Just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with his life. All it does is hurt him more. But we can't just leave him like this. Now is when he needs friends the most. No, now is when he needs me the most. I am his doctor and his mother. I know you care about him. I know that, and he knows it too. But all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. He seemed fine before dinner. It always comes in waves, and I can assure you that right now he's very much not fine. Now leave. The three of you are rushed to the door. We'll be back, Reese. Hope you feel better soon. Dr. Kelly shuts the door in your faces. The click of a lock signals the end of your dinner at Reese's. Have y'all ever heard of fictitious disorder? Kaneeka tenses at the mention of your words. No. It's when someone pretends to be sick or makes themselves sick on purpose. Or does it to someone else. Oh. If she's doing this to him, I swear to God. She wouldn't. That's just horrible. Who could do something like that to their own kid? And for so long? No. There's no way. Y'all are barking up the wrong tree. It seems far-fetched and it's definitely rare, but I don't think we can rule it out. We could probably go back and forth on this for a while. Let's just get going. The sun is setting, and we don't want to miss a second of ghost action. Stella hurries down the hill, almost as if to run away from what just happened. You and Kaneeka follow her down the slowly darkening street. I know, I feel like Stella's in denial, because she gives him some pills over the dinner table, and then magically his stomach starts hurting and he has to go. But he was fine before that, so I don't really understand. Lit by the orange hues of the setting sun, the library seems different, which was once a quaint building in a small town, now stands as an imposing structure, its walls holding something that stares back at you with menace. Maybe Stella is right. Maybe ghosts aren't real, and the rest of tonight is going to be a pleasant break from the evenings of the past few days. But that's not the case. There's something old and powerful in there, and you can feel it stir as the sun sets and the daylight fades away. Your thoughts jump to the ghost books you've read over the years. So often the ghosts in the stories are metaphors for something else. Are real ghosts metaphors too? Well, they'll be finding out. Just as the exterior was intimidating in the setting sun, the inside of the library is dark, its shadows deep and foreboding. The meet and greet with the mayor ended quite some time ago, and the throngs of visitors took whatever joy was in this place with them as they left. Hey, Oscar, are you back yet? Shh, you can't yell in the library. It's against the rules. It's after hours. Rules only apply before 5 p.m. Now it's our domain. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went okay. Yeah, it went okay. Reese wasn't really feeling up for a longer hangout, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay. Just means we have more time to hunt ghosts. I've come fully loaded. Got my EMF reader, temperature gauge, spirit box, infrared camera, UV light, video cameras, salt, flashlights for everyone in case the ghost messes with the electricity, parabolic microphone, Sharpies, and paper for automatic writing, matches, and candles for rituals. Oh, and a Ouija board. I know they're toys, but you never know what might come in handy. Wow, this is a lot of ghost hunting stuff for something that was so last minute. Do you just have this stuff ready to go in a bug out bag or something? Of course I do. I actually stashed a couple of bags here overnight after I got back from the mines. Excuse me? I wasn't about to carry everything all day. This way we can go in light and pop out to grab more stuff once things start getting spooky. I may never have found any compelling evidence of ghosts, but that's not for lack of trying. And after last night, I'm more than ready to try again. Man, these are some tough options. This whole town is one big supernatural death trap. I swear it's not usually like this. It's a really nice place to visit most of the time, just not this week apparently. Yeah, you can tell from all the shuttered storefronts and jaded residents. Maybe this place has been a metaphorical death trap for a long time, and it just decided to be more obvious about it now. Yo, don't rush off ghost busting without Zane. No way was I gonna forget your promise, Stella. Zane, glad you can make it. I was confronted with my own mortality for the first time yesterday, so I'm desperate for answers about the afterlife to ease my troubled mind. Now let's go mess with some ghosts. I hope my house is big enough for 5 ghost hunters at once. If this is everyone, we can go ahead and get started. It's through the back. Follow me. You and your companions grab some equipment from one of Stella's carefully stashed bug-out bags before heading towards the junction connecting Oscar's house and the library. Looks like the sun's almost set. This is when stuff usually starts to kick off. I haven't been back inside for about a week, so I have no idea what to expect. Hey! There's no way you're doing this without me. Rosalina, we talked about this. No way! You talked at me about it. I'm sick of everyone else making decisions for me. I just want to be able to live in our house again. I'm going in there and sleeping in my room tonight, no matter what. Let her come with us. It's her house too. Exactly. I don't want to be coddled just because you're scared. If Zane is coming, I have every right to be there too. She's got a good point, Mr. G. You're right. I'm sorry, Rosa. Just let me know if it gets to be too much and you want to leave, okay? Thanks, Dad. Now let's get our house back. You all cross over the threshold and enter Oscar's living room. Family photos line the walls and stacks of books sit comfortably on wooden furniture. And there's that feeling again, like in the mines, like the door to the clinic. A dusty, suffocating, dizzying feeling. Something is in this house, though whether it's a ghost or something worse, you can't know. You can imagine long winter nights reading by the fireplace without a care in the world. Okay, looks pretty normal for now. I don't remember that picture being on the floor, but that could be non-supernatural. None of my equipment is picking up anything around the picture. But I'll set up a camera in case it falls again. Could be important evidence. You might want to save your cameras for Rosalina's room. That's where I've seen the ghost manifest. I wonder if the ghost will even show with this many people around. Wait, is it just me or does it suddenly feel colder? It sure does. I definitely feel that. The temperature gun says it's actually a couple degrees colder, but that's normal. Rooms and hallways are sometimes colder than other parts of the house. Whoa, a genuine cold spot. I gotta snap a pic for posterity. Isn't that it? This isn't very scary. I don't know if we should be splitting up. We're wasting our time here. Oscar said the ghost is in Rosalina's room. Yeah, but we don't have to rush there. I'm sure we can deal with it from out here, right? Stella, I've been meaning to ask, do you actually know how to get rid of ghosts? How exactly are we going to get rid of it if we find one? Well, my ghost hunting kit has symbols from every major religion, assorted holy books, a bunch of salt, and some jars for ectoplasm. And if worse comes to worse, we can always use the Ouija board to politely ask it to leave. I think I'd rather not take the chance. One ghost is enough to deal with. I don't much like the idea of opening a door for something worse. Wow, you've never been this superstitious, Dad. This ghost really has you freaked out. Okay, Oscar takes a deep breath before continuing. Let's head over to Rosalina's room. Follow me. I don't know why they're agreeing to do this, period. This is a lot. Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Weird, but I'm not getting anything. It's not even cold. It's the same temperature as the living room. Nothing on the EMF either. Then your equipment is wrong. The stain is definitely paranormal. I scrubbed it out too many times to count, and it just keeps coming back. It's just a stain, Dad. Can't we cover it back up? I don't mind sleeping in here. Let's get scientific about this. If you scrub the stain out a bunch, maybe that's part of the summoning ritual. If y'all are offering free carpet cleaning, please be my guest. The stain is an attempt at expression. There are no words, no decipherable patterns, but you can still feel it. A cry for help from something that has lost its voice. I think y'all are focusing too much on cleaning the stain and not enough on what it's made of, which is blood. Ghost blood. Or it's just a rusty pipe leaking all over your floor. I think that'd be a bigger problem than what Bree and Stella are suggesting. Have y'all tried ripping up the carpet to see what's causing the stain? The government owns this house, so there's no way I'm leaving a big red stain on our carpet. I made sure it was pristine every morning. Besides, I kind of assumed it was ghost blood, which it is. What if there's something written under there? Only one way to be sure. Stella excitedly starts tugging at the corner of the carpet. Oh dear, you're doing the government a favor, really. Oh, there's a door or something. Stella pulls the carpet back, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish brown. Okay, maybe I don't want to sleep in here. We're going down there, right? Of course we are. This is even better than finding a message. But there's no basement in this house. At least we weren't told about a basement. And look, all the red stuff is coming from underneath. Yeah, this is super haunted. All right, you've got a basement chock full of ghosts. I can just feel it. Y'all know last month was super rainy. It's clearly been a long time since anyone stepped foot in the basement or crawl space or whatever it is under the hatch. There must be a leak that flooded the whole area underneath the house. The water dissolved the caulk around the edge, leaked through the carpet, and is red because North Carolina has red-ass dirt. It's as simple as that. It's not mud. It's blood. Human blood. I tested it. Maybe you tested it wrong? It can't be blood, right? Whatever it is, I need to know what's down there. I need to know what's been under my bed all these years. Yeah, there's an old hatch in the floor that someone tried to seal up. We're not leaving until we've explored every nook and cranny. Have you considered they might have tried sealing it up because it's unsafe? No. Do you think the flooding could have made the house unstable? I'm all in on ghost hunting, but I don't know if I could crawl into another dangerous crevice. I'm going for it. Stella is way too adventurous for me. Like, Stella has no sense of self-preservation for me. You come to Oscar's living room, you can't tell what time it is, and your friends are nowhere in sight. At least physically, this is Oscar's living room. Spiritually and mentally, you've been ripped away to some other place. The building feels colder, and there's something about the air that feels wrong. It's stale with an undercurrent of mold and earth. You feel claustrophobic, as though you're in a coffin, each breath depleting what little oxygen is left. Hello? Is anybody here? There's no reply. I'm gonna call Stella. The phone rings. Eddie? You can hear something drop violently on the other end and then a dial tone. I know Cranky should answer the phone. She stayed cranky, though. The phone rings. I'm looking all over for you. Where did you... What? Why are you saying that? Want to come over and do some ghost hunting? Yeah, okay, I get it. Pulling a funny prank on your poor long-suffering cousin, playing some creepy old-timey radio clip over the phone. Did Kaneeka put you up to this? Whatever. Just come home. I'm sick of chasing after you. Alright, let's call Kaneeka then. Eddie? It's the same voice you heard when you called Stella, uttering the same phrase. You once again hear something drop violently on the other end, and then a dial tone. I'm not calling anybody else. I'm going back to the girls' room. Whatever just happened was weird, but your friends are probably still in Rosalina's room. You head further into the house. That doesn't look like her room. Something isn't right. It feels like a late summer afternoon. The air is warm and wet, and the scent of flowers drifts on the breeze. Ooh, that's scary. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Is this Stella? Eddie, it's Charlie. Did you say Eddie? No one's called me that in a long time. It's Edwardine now? I'm not a child anymore. Stella? Why do I think your name is the lover? I wish I could say the same. You should have stayed gone. And you absolutely shouldn't have shown up here, of all places. If you're caught, I don't think you understand what father might do. This is a mistake, then. I shouldn't have come here. I can't. It's not that easy for me. My brothers were sent to Normandy, and now I'm the only Scarlet left besides father. I have responsibilities, Charlie. I know you still love me. You should just get out of town while you still can. Whatever you came back for, it's not worth it. You're right. What I came back for isn't worth it, but you are. I won't leave the holler without you. If you change your mind, I'll be around. She's gone, along with the shadow in the corner of the room. You're alone again in this strange garden. So that's some sort of ancestor of theirs, but I'm not understanding. She had a secret lover that ran off? I can either follow her or go back the way I came. I guess we're following her, because the way I came, there was nobody there. As you step forward, a single door standing solitary in the middle of the garden appears before you. Can we walk past it? The door shouldn't lead anywhere. It's just a door, and the only thing behind it is more of the garden. You decide to walk past it. Wherever Stella went, it isn't through here. When you step forward, though, it's as if the room lurches away from you, or perhaps as if you yourself are standing still. We're going through it. You walk up to the door and open it. I don't know what's going on here. That thing again. Bells ringing as a cacophony rages outside. The door in front of you pulsates as figures unseen bang against it. The shaded figure from the garden sits in the corner, ever so slightly more defined. Your father has left town, Charlie. We're moving to a new house, okay? Okay. He can't come back. We've got to live somewhere else now. But that'll be fun, right? There'll be new kids to play with. You can show them your little dolls. Hurry, sweetie. We don't have much time. Your thoughts are pulled to the symbolism in the room. It's possible the spirit is trying to communicate with images as it is with words. There's a goat's head in the garden and a lamb here. Maybe they're to mark the passage of time. But the other kids make fun of me. I don't want to leave Eddie. Can she come with us? No, she can't come. I never want you to say her name again. Do you hear me? We aren't friends with the Scarlets anymore. Oh God, they're outside. Are those torches? We don't have time, Charlie. We have to go right now. The mother is whisked away, leaving you behind in the empty room. As she departs, the front door stops pounding and opens into a beckoning white void. Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. There you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? And absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders. I mean, to talk to him at this point, we're not running. How did you get down here? I followed you in. I'm never very far behind. As he approaches, a smell hits you. Sweating, suffocated flesh with a tinge of saccharine and stomach-churning scent of decay. Shall we find the end of this little maze? I'm gonna run past him into the void. I'm not friends with this guy. You hurry towards the door in front of you, closing your eyes as to not think about the impossibilities of the room. As you feel the door in your hands, you hurl yourself over the threshold and slam it behind you. We just have been in a hellscape. I don't know what this place is. You're outside and it's night. A false moon looming massive in the painted sky. Wayne is gone. The night feels thick and warm, the insects lively, their calls unnaturally tiny. Everything feels warped and wrong, like you're listening to a record fish from the bottom of a pond. Unless your eyes are playing tricks on you, the shadow in the corner keeps getting closer. Oh. Not Kaneeka. This is Kaneeka, right? You poor dear. I've been keeping track of you, scuttling across town like a tomcat. You've fallen hard for Miss Edwardine, haven't you? Whatever happened here must have happened after both the garden and the collapse. Dang, how do you know I have the hots for Edwardine? There's no need to be embarrassed. Your secret is safe with me. You know, I never did approve of what the Scarlets did to your family and what it did to the two of you youngins. Childhood sweethearts. Just how lovely would it have been if you could just be happy together. That's what you want, isn't it? So, Edwin and Charlie, I'm sure by now you realize the young lady doesn't plan on leaving with you, but it's not for a lack of desire, as you well know. It's Enoch. Even if you dragged her over the town limits, his hold over her would make sure neither of you were ever happy again. Just think of what happened to your poor mother and father. Do you want that to be the two of you? Something tells you that the secret tryst doesn't end up working out. I remember reading about Enoch. He took over the mines after the collapse in 1918. The powers at work here are stronger than even your love could withstand. You need to break the bonds holding her here. Then you can both go free. No more misfortune. Not for you, not for anyone else bold enough to step foot outside the holler. The witch mimes handing you something, although her hand is empty. Everything you need to know is on that map. You can identify some of the plants in this room. It's Jimson weed, monkshood, and what's either Queen Anne's lace or poison hemlock. All of them are toxic. I don't understand. Is this a map? In some kind of poem? That's where you'll find them. You need her there. Then read what I've written down and be careful. Good luck to the both of you. I hope you get your happiness. And then she's gone. So, the Scarlet girl, Charlie, her dad, Enoch, which we do know ends up taking over the factory at some point. He forbid her from dating someone. I don't know. It seems like there's something going on there. Ugh, this Wayne guy. Oh my god. It's like you're trying to get rid of me. I'll have to try harder. We'll try talking to him again, because what? I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate where it was safe. Now you want me to piece together a mystery. What changed? Events that have started that cannot be stopped. What are you? I am a friend. Do you know the way out? I will soon, but in the meantime, you have nothing to fear. I'm watching over you. I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about my friends. The people you only met 2 days ago, I'm sure if something happens to them, you'll recover soon enough. It's not as if your bonds are strong enough to leave a mark when broken. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. You continue forward through the uncanny underbrush. Oh, we just be in the strangest of places. Once again, you find yourself separated and alone. A long wooden corridor stands before you, littered with bottles and rails. Is this Zane? A figure rises to attention, blocking your way. I'm afraid he doesn't have long. If there's anything you need to say to him, I'd say it now. Okay. Who is that? Oh, that's Oscar. As the caretaker is swept away, the room pulls itself to you, and you find yourself looming over a deathbed. The father lies in the center, looking pitifully small. I'm sorry, boy. Sorry I let my troubles drive your mama away, and sorry those troubles mean I'm leaving you all alone now. So you must be Charles Shaw? Damn it, Junior. How many times do I have to tell you? I tried to stop it from happening, but that damned snake Enoch went behind my back. So Charlie's dad is not Enoch. Charlie's dad is Charles Sr. So Arduine, her dad is Enoch. So they liked each other, but I guess he wasn't allowed to date her. So you're saying Enoch was the one responsible for the collapse? You're right. I've been using that excuse for too many years. At a certain point, a man has to accept when he's dug his own grave. They may have run me out, but they didn't push the bottle in my hand. Still, they destroyed our legacy, boy. Both our names are cursed with that history. I'll be dead and gone soon, but I won't be able to rest. Not until our name is cleared. Not until you can pass on this name with pride. That's my only request, Charlie. Go back there. Tell people the truth. Try to find proof. I don't know what you'll have to do, but please. I know I ain't been the best father, but I'm no murderer. Is that why you were getting close with Edwardine in the garden? Damn it, boy. I may not have till the morning. Promise me. Promise me you'll go back and at the very least show that Enoch bastard what for. I promise. I'll go back. Oh, damn. He died immediately. You watch the father's body seize and fall through the sheets, taking the rattling pile of bottles with him. Such theatrics. What a waste of time. Why force you to see any of this? People always think their own experiences are so important. But what does any of it matter? Let's go on and talk to him. Are my friends dead? Because he seems to know everything. They're alive. I'm not sure they'll stay that way. Do you know what this is trying to tell me? Yes, and it's trivial. Don't worry yourself with it. You keep disappearing. It's doing its best to keep us apart, but I have a feeling it'll be over soon. Then the exit won't be hard to find. Guess I'll see you when I see you. It shouldn't be hard to find you again. You move back to the beds to quietly lead through the hole the father left behind and crawl through. I just don't know what's going on. For the first time, you and Wayne entered a new room, unseparated. The two of you find yourselves huddled under a large table. The lover stares through you as indecipherable murmurs and shuffling feet echo from the ends of the table. They're so lovely. Are you sure I can keep one? You must have worked really hard on them. It's a gift. Take it. Just let the scene play out. There's no use trying to communicate, whether with the resident or your little friends. I don't know what that means. I'll try to keep it away from my brother so he doesn't smash it. Though I wish I could make it move like you can. And you can even do the voices. You know, you could probably make real money if you put on a show for people. I don't know. That's the plan. I want to be a traveling performer. Why don't you come with me? We can go from town to town, putting on shows for other kids. Please, don't engage with it while I try to find another door. I don't know if I should trust Wayne or not. He's not telling me anything. So it's like, why can't I talk to her? I've been talking to her all this time. A traveling show, and you want me there too? Oh, we could go to the towns along the beach. I hear the Outer Banks are the most beautiful place in the world. You quietly let the scene finish playing out. Thank you, Charlie. I've always wanted to see the ocean. Oh, everything crashes to a thunderous black before you or Wayne can get in another word. So did we get out? Is that all of them? I'm missing someone. Oh no, there she is. I don't know what that is. A single spotlight remains, illuminating a trapdoor in the center of the stage. You feel drawn to it. It opens. You feel a shove from behind and tumble through the hatch. That drawing again. It took some digging, but it's still there. The map was right. That means there's hope, Eddie. Whatever it is that Enoch did, we can undo it. We can be happy to get... Oh no. Eddie? Oh no. So Eddie kills him to protect her dad's secret about the wood and the mine and how it was his fault? Damn. Eddie is ruthless. Wayne is gone once again. There's nothing here but you and the howling void. Do you repent? Do you repent for your crimes? For the first time tonight, you recognize the names of your companions. Does that mean that the resident has grown weaker, or is this yet another part of its act? I'm going to let them continue. You let the spirit continue. You must answer for the crimes committed by your scarlet blood. Until you do, I cannot die. I want to die. Please. I've been alone in the dark for so long. All I ask is for some of your years to pay for the years that were taken from me. All my life was stolen from me. I want some of yours. It's only fair. The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Forfeit your years, and I will finally leave. You are on trial here, aren't you? Advocate for yourself. How am I advocating? I didn't have anything I've been this is a lot. She's only been in town for 2 days. I didn't even know this history until right now that someone from Scarlet, so Edwin Scarlet, the daughter of Enoch, killed Charlie, her lover, because he figured out that her dad was the reason why the miners died. But how could I have known that? That was something from like 100 years ago. I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. You will live a shorter life, and I will finally be satisfied. I will have justice. I will finally die. I will leave this house at last. Let's advocate, because, girl, I need to know what's going on. Hear me out, Spirit, before you so readily pass judgment. Your plea is met with silence, but silence isn't judgment. Keep talking. I don't know how to answer this. You're losing sight of things. Do you want revenge or do you want justice? I can help actually right the wrongs of your past, but only if you let me go. More silence. Keep going. Why should the sins of our forefathers be passed on to us? Were Charles Shaw's sins passed on to you? I think you don't need me. You don't need anything from me to move on. Whether you realize it or not, nobody is keeping you here but you. I can't give you closure. A fresh tension bubbles up in the air. You're almost out of this. Why should the sins of our forefathers be passed on to us? Were Charles Shaw's sins passed on to you? In life, did you want to punish Eddie and Enoch, or did you want to move on and build a brighter future together? The jury box is pulled away as you're brought face to face with the spirit. I'm assuming this is the spirit of Charlie. It's time for your closing argument. After all these years, someone has finally heard you. I'm going to find out the truth of what happened to you, Charlie. You can finally rest because your burdens are now mine. Because now that is some craziness. Silence. So I don't know. Did he like our argument or no? Because it sounds like he was done dirty for sure. Charlie was killed simply for knowing the truth, that they used rotten old wood in those mines and then it broke and those kids got murdered. But it sounds like both Charlie and Enoch made the choice to use the old wood. They knew about it when it came in and he didn't do enough to stop it. So it's not 100% Enoch's fault, but it's not 100% Charlie's dad's fault either. So I'm actually not sure, but we should tell somebody, because they made it sound like it was just a weird mystery. And it's like, well, no, they had a part to play in that. The mines weren't safe, and it was their job as the coal mine owners to make it safe. Right? And poor Charlie died, tricked by his lover for no reason. So that has to be shitty, regardless of what their parents did. He didn't deserve to die. And then everything fades to black. You come to in a basement, a mound of packed dirt in front of you. Your friends are nowhere to be seen, but Wayne lurks by the stairwell as though he's been patiently waiting for you to wake up. Wayne needs to be more helpful. He's given me no guidance up until this point. There you are. And you look like you're all in one piece. Sybil pauses mid-sentence as she notices Wayne from the corner of her eyes. Come with me, dear. Let me get you home. This was a close call. Make sure nothing happens to her, or there'll be hell to pay. He practically hisses the words. I don't know if he's talking to me or talking to Sybil. You walk quietly towards the stairs. Sybil lends you her arm as she guides you out of the library. Damn, is everyone okay? you're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blowing small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. I'm gonna peace out. Back-to-back encounters with my own morality. I got a lot to ponder. See ya, Rosalina. Zane walks off down the road. How are we supposed to know it would be like that? Things have been strange around town, sweetie. Now's not the time to be poking around the supernatural. I thought you learned that lesson yesterday. But magic isn't real. I mean, it's not supposed to be. God, that hurt. Everything is so sore. Bree, is it really gone? It was a bit of a Hail Mary, but yeah, it's gone. And I didn't have to sacrifice anything. You're too modest. It's a considerable feat to reason with a spirit like that. I can't believe you actually got us out of there. And you got our house back. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'll do my best to make it up to you. To think that ghosts are actually real. I mean, I don't know what hard evidence we have, but we all vividly experience the same thing. Stella's got to be over the moon right now. Where is Stella? I thought she'd be excitedly rattling off theories by now. Oh, she's just standing there by herself. That isn't like her. Is she okay? I was wondering the same thing. We just saw a ghost and she's standing off by herself. Which, like, fair, that'd be a normal reaction from anyone else who had just seen a ghost. But this is Stella we're talking about. I'm gonna go check in with her. You walk over to Stella. Oh, hey, Bree. Are you okay? Sorry, I can't talk right now. See you later. She hurries off down the road. Should we go after her? She doesn't seem okay. Stella? I think she just needs some time to herself. Stella's never been the kind to share her burdens. And I doubt that'll change just because someone goes chasing after her. If anything, it'll just make her clam up even more. She's a strong girl. She'll be okay. I'm honestly surprised she and Zane are the only ones heading out right now. You've all been through something awful, and each and every one of you needs rest. Especially you, Kaneeka. We don't want that cold of yours to get any worse. Were you all conscious that whole time? Everyone glances at each other. Though none of them gave any of their years away, you could see how exhausted they are. How unsettled. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we remember everything. At least up until that guy showed up and snapped us all out of it. Wayne, he's been following Bree around. What did he say to you? We don't need to trouble Bree for the details. No one pay any mind to that man. She knows something. Sybil knows a lot more. He's just a drifter. He'll be gone soon enough. In the meantime, steer clear and he won't make trouble. I can't believe I let Rosalina go in there. How could I be so careless? After everything she went through in the last day, how could I let this happen? You actually tried pretty hard to warn us about things, Oscar. None of us took you seriously enough. Well, I should have done a better job warning you. I should have known how bad it could have gotten in there. I shouldn't have let Rosalina come with us. Dad, what did I tell you? Stop blaming yourself. You couldn't have helped me. If you tried, I was just going to sneak in after you. You didn't put a ghost in our house. This is not on you. I know you've both had a difficult time with this, but the storm has passed and everything worked out. Things will get better from here. There was another carving in there. They keep giving me visions. I wonder if those things are tied to everything supernatural that's been happening. Yeah, I wonder. One is a coincidence, but two of them on back-to-back nights? I'm sorry, I'm a little lost. You've been finding carvings around town and they've been giving you visions? I'm sure everyone here could stand around theorizing about this and that all night long. There'll be plenty of time for that tomorrow. Sybil can go home if she's that tired. Like, girl, Do any of you know who you were supposed to be? No idea. There was no context, nothing. But there was a weird feeling, like an overwhelming guilt. I was mostly just scared. I didn't feel any of those things. I don't know how to describe it. I felt powerful. What was it like being puppeted? They all glanced away. It hurt. Why didn't I make Rosalina stay behind? I can't believe I let that happen to her. Dad, this might be the overwhelming pain and exhaustion talking, but shut up. I love you. None of this is your fault, okay? I had no idea what I was going to say until the words were already spilling out, but I remember each and every one of them. It's like they were burned into my memory. You poor souls. I couldn't even imagine what you've all been through. I spent a lot of time with Wayne in there. Yeah, I noticed. We could smell him as soon as we snapped out of it. What happened? Did he hurt you? He crushed the ditchling under his boot. It was pretty scary. Yet another valid reason for me not to trust him. There was someone else in there, but that's my house. Rosalina and I live there. What did he say to you? Like I said, let's not trouble Bree about him. Just stay away, all of you. We should probably get going. It's starting to get chilly out, and there's still work to do to get Rosalina set up for the night. Don't be a stranger, and let us know if you need anything, Oscar. I will. Thank you. All of you. Again. I believe it's time for me to get my daughter home as well. But, Kaneeka, dear, you haven't been feeling well. You need to get some rest. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, Bree. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Cool. Kaneeka wearily treks back to the general store. I'll walk you home after I finish getting Kaneeka her tea. And we'll chat about what just happened. I'll be a moment. I don't know why she wants to pull me away from everybody else and keep it so secretive. You're too tired to say no. Sybil leaves. So I'm just hanging out in front of the library by myself. You make yourself comfortable for a few minutes while you wait. After everything that's happened tonight, the normalcy of sitting on a quiet and empty road feels like a priceless treasure. I hope you don't mind, but I took the liberty to call your cousin and tell her what happened tonight. She wasn't exactly thrilled to hear from me, but I think I blunted her anger as much as I could. Shall we head out for our walk? So she's gonna... How come the cousin didn't pick me up? Why are we walking outside at night? After what we just been through. The night feels cold, the crunch of leaves beneath your feet deafening in the quiet wilderness. Let's stop. Stop? Girl, we are not stopping. She said, let's stop here for a bit. These old bones need a moment to rest. And that's exactly why Tabitha should have picked me up. Because why are we stopping? Girl, there are ditchlings everywhere. There are. I'm afraid that spirit you dealt with tonight was merely a symptom of the rot here, rather than the cause. People are unfortunately just going to have to get used to the sight of these things in the coming days. Are you a witch? Why? Because you seem to know way too much. She laughs, surprised by your question. I suppose some people might call me one, but I'm just an old woman who fancies herself a bit of a healer. What you call yourself isn't important. You are more powerful than you let on. Well, I do drink plenty of tea. I'm so sorry, Bree. I completely forgot to send you home with some tonight. That's enough rest for me. Let's carry on for a bit. You and Sybil walk deeper into the woods. You're getting closer to the estate. One last rest and we'll get you home. Okay. Sybil, what is Wayne? Because I want to understand what's going on. It's like I said, he's just a man. We both know there's something more to him. A smile briefly fades from her face. It's not exactly polite to share people's medical history. I may not have taken a Hippocratic oath, but I still respect the privacy of others. That doesn't mean you should trust him, though. Be careful with that one. Okay, so he's a man, but he looks like he's dead. So, I don't know. Edward, Edwardine killed Charles Jr., but I feel like I'm only scratching the surface of things. What has my family done? Is that what the spirit showed you? Your family built one of the most powerful coal empires in Appalachia. Those sorts of things don't come about without betrayal and bloodshed. These are all assumptions, of course. I'm just an old woman who enjoys her tea, and the Scarlet Empire is far older than these rattling bones. If you want the bloody details, I'm afraid you'll have to find them yourself. Girl, there's a stone carving of a goat's head and a pack of wolves in that basement. There was something similar in the mines last night, too. A circle of arms and chains. Both of them gave me visions. Was there now? That's quite an interesting development. Perhaps we can discuss these visions over tea. My grandmother had a special blend that supposedly helped with dreams and visions. I'll be sure to have some ready by tomorrow. It'll help us piece things together. I understood those visions perfectly well. I don't need any special tea to help me decipher them. That's fair enough, but you should swing by tomorrow regardless. It's best to think about these things after the minds had some time to rest, even for one as perceptive as yourself. Are you ready to get moving again? I am. The estate shouldn't be much further. You and Sybil trek through the remainder of the woods and find yourselves on the outskirts of the estate. I'm looking forward to continuing our chat tomorrow once you've had some rest. Good luck handling Tabitha. I tried to soften her up over the phone, but there's only so much softening you can do with someone that prickly. Bless her heart. Get a good night's rest, Bree. You've earned it. Sybil heads back towards the forest, leaving you to face Tabitha alone. Oh, God. Tabitha's just going to be in our ass. Yep, and of course she's standing in the lobby, waiting. You open the door to the estate as quietly as you can to find your cousin anxiously pacing in the foyer. She's been waiting for you. So you finally came back. After last night, I thought we were done with running around in secrecy. I guess I was too optimistic. Do you know how stuff like this impacts me? Do you even care? Tabitha, we've been through some shit. Some shit. I need to know. I need to talk to you about some stuff. Now's not really the time. Now, you didn't stayed up to talk to me, so talk to me. There was another one of those stones in Oscar's house. It gave me another vision. Like last night? That was gas. I'm sure whatever you thought you saw tonight was similar. Maybe you had another seizure. All the more reason you shouldn't run off and not tell me where you are. They've been telling me a lot about our family. I think we've done some terrible stuff, Tabitha. And all of it is probably in your imagination because they're hallucinations stemming from either gas or, I don't know, your own guilt and exhaustion. City folk love to self-flagellate. I think I should go to a doctor. All the passing out and visions and hallucinations, this could be a medical emergency. You know where Dr. Kelly lives, and if you don't, just ask Stella. Maybe an appointment would be a good idea. I'm going to leave it at that, because she's clearly not going to be any help. Are we done then? Great. I'm going to bed. Your cousin walks off, leaving you alone. Right, because Tabitha's the least helpful person next to Sybil. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. I want to go back to Stella's house. I'm so tired of sleeping in this house with Tabitha. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest, but the disaster still looms over the town of Scarlet Hollow. Still, tonight was a good night, and you fall asleep with a gentle, well-earned smile on your face. Whew. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. I'm going to save, because I'm still not ready to go to the next chapter, but it has been a doozy. So, unfortunately, the story is not going to be completed at this point, so there's one more episode, chapter 4, but there's supposed to be 5, 6, and 7 coming out in the upcoming years. Chapter 5 is supposed to come out in some point in 2025. We don't have a release date or any information just yet. So I will post chapter 4. That will be the final chapter for now, but I definitely want to hear the ending of this story. It's getting so juicy. Seems like the Scarlet family is a big deal, and Tabitha knows more than she's telling us. Hopefully the tea room date with Sybil gives us a lot more information. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of chapter 3? And any predictions for chapter 4? Thanks for watching.